Hey, Mark here with Solasana and Donate Yoga. And today I'm going to show you Adho Mukha Svanasana. So, breaking it down into our foundations, we want to make sure that we have the majority of the weight that's in our hands to be in the inner triad of our hands. This was taught to me by my teacher, Nikki Doan. So, we go where the index finger knuckle meets the palm, the thumb knuckle meeting the palm, and then the inner part of the palm. So any weight that's in the hands, the majority is here, as opposed to sometimes we see people pressing down and they're pressing really hard on the outside. So this bone right here is known as the pisiform bone, which comes from the Latin word for sweet pea. So as Nikki was telling us, it's the smallest vegetable we can think of to name this bone. So let's definitely avoid putting undue pressure there. Also, instead of spreading our fingers as wide as we can, this actually puts more pressure and tension on our wrist, which can lead to more carpal tunnel. So we actually want it, and you can even feel it. If you place your hands on your wrist and spread your fingers out wide, you can feel how it gets tighter. So yes, we want our fingers spread, but a normal amount, not trying as hard as we can. Sometimes my elbows will bend, and when they do, I use a strap around the outside, and that helps keep them straight. For people who hyperextend, a belt can also help them to not hyperextend. Okay, so a good way to start is in tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And while we're here, we can do a cat-cow. And one of my Iyengar teachers was teaching me that we come back like we're doing balasana, child's pose. So our toes are curled under still, though. We bring our seat towards our feet and then raise the knees a couple of inches. And what happened to me and what happens to a lot of people is when we go to do this, we come up and forward, which is exactly why a lot of down dogs are in the shoulders and wrists. So to help alleviate that, we come back towards our thighs, press up, and then with that same area, we press into our down dog. Now, we can pedal our feet. Looking at our feet, are they hip width distance apart? Yeah, okay, I'll spread them out a little bit. Are the outside edges of the feet parallel to the mat? Right now they're not. Here we go. Am I pressing on the inside, the inner triad of my hand? I wasn't. Now I am. Pressing out, having the eyes of the elbows facing one another instead of all the way forward or back. Relaxing the neck and shoulders. And then after all that, we can really flex our quads and internally rotate our thighs here. So when we keep our legs engaged like this, one, it protects our knees, two, it helps us to stretch the hamstrings. So for a lot of other poses, Uttanasana, Parsvottanasana, the more we flex these quads, the more protected the rest of our legs will be and the deeper hamstring stretch we'll get. Okay, so how do we get more of the weight into our legs? Well, we can bend just for a moment and raise our sitting bones up a little higher, keeping that height. Now we re-straighten our legs, keeping the legs engaged too, pressing the mat away with our hands, and then relaxing the neck. After all this, now we can gently think about externally rotating the shoulders as well. But can we keep all those other cues in line when we do so? I'll do a couple more angles for you. And believe it or not, Downward facing dog can be a resting pose. And if you go to a really intense vinyasa class, eventually you will feel the relaxation that can come. All right. Thank you for joining. I hope you'll continue to check out more videos that we're posting here at Solasana, keeping the tribe and community flowing. And if you're interested in more of what Donate Yoga, our nonprofit, is doing, you can check us out at donateyoga.org. We actually have an online teacher training coming up for a 200 and a 300. All right. Namaste.